Hola clase, Señor AD here. This video is the notes for telling time. You should be taking notes on how we tell time in Spanish. It's very similar to English, but there are some differences that tend to get kids tripped up on it. So let's begin. Again, you can pause this video at any time. If I'm going and I'm talking too fast, or you need to re-listen to something that I said, that'd be more than welcome for you to do that. And I encourage that. Okay, let's go here. So, in both English and in Spanish, the verb to be, or what we call ser in Espanol, and numbers are used to tell time. So just like in English, we say it is 3 o'clock, it's 5:15, it's 10 minutes till 2. We use it is or is, which is the same for ser. To ask what time it is, we use a phrase called ¿Qué hora es? So everybody, let's repeat that. ¿Qué hora es? Now it literally means what hour is it? And where that comes from comes from the medieval time frame, medieval ages, where they had maybe one clock tower in the entire town, and there would be a person who would go around telling the time and saying the time, and that was their job, was to tell the time. Someone asked them, what hour is it? What's the hour? They would tell it's almost to the 3 o'clock hour, or it's just past the 1 hour, whatever it may be. Okay? When telling time, we use es la with una and son las with all other hours. So in Spanish, when we talk about 1 o'clock, we don't say uno, we will say una. And that has to do with una is an hour and hora is feminine. So we're going to make una feminine. Okay? But again, anytime we're talking about the 1 o'clock hour, it can be 10 minutes to 1 or 20 after 1 or 1:40, whatever it may be. If we're referring to the 1 o'clock hour, we are going to say es la una first. And then all the other hours, we're going to say son las, and then the hours with all the others. So like, for example, we're going to say son las dos, son las tres, son las cuatro, son las cinco, son las seis, son las siete, son las ocho, son las nueve, son las 10, son las 11, son las 12. Okay? As in English, you'll express time for the hour to the half an hour in Spanish by adding minutes. Okay? So for example, we will say, instead of saying 4:05, like we would say in English, or it's 5 minutes after 4, we would say son las 4:05. So we're saying it is the 4 o'clock hour and 5 minutes. Okay, that means it's like 5 minutes into the hour. You could also think of it as an addition sign, like plus 5 minutes. Let's look at this one. It says son las 11:20. It is 11 and 20 minutes into the 11 o'clock hour. Again, if you want to think of it mathematically, you're saying it's 11 o'clock plus 20 minutes. Okay? Now, you're going to see some handwriting here. It says you may use either cuarto or quince to express the 15 minutes or the quarter past the hour. For 30 minutes or half past the hour, you may either use y media, or y 30. Okay? So let's look at these first couple bolded words here. Y cuarto. Okay? You don't want to get confused with cuatro. Notice how it's spelt. C-U-A-T-R-O versus cuarto, which is C-U-A-R-T-O. Cuarto means like a quarter, like 25 cents. Or if you look at a face here of a circle and you divide it into 4 equal parts, 1/4 of it is a quarter of it. So un cuarto. Okay? Or you can say 15 to express it's 15 minutes past the hour. Again, media and 30. Again, 30 is very easy. It's saying 30. We would say that in English all the time. Media is like, again, you would take the face clock and you would divide it into half, and halfway through would be at 30 minutes. So you would say it's halfway through the hour, half past the hour in Spanish. We don't really say that one often in English, at least I don't anyway, but I will use both of these and both of these interchangeably. And they both mean the same when you're talking about it in a time context. So it's all up to you how you want to use it. If you want to use cuarto all the time, then use cuarto. If you want to use 15 all the time, use 15. But you will have to be aware and recognize that some people might use cuarto, and some people might use 15, and some people might use media, and some people might use 30, and that's totally fine. That's what's great about language, is sometimes you can pick how you want to say it, and that's totally cool. You just need to be aware that they might use both ways. You could also express time from the half an hour to the hour, so from 30 minutes to the next 60 minutes in Spanish, by subtracting the minutes or a portion of the hour from the next hour. Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit mathematically tricky. Okay, so imagine you are wanting to say it's a quarter until the 15 until the next hour. So sorry, we went too far. Let me go back. There we go. I'm trying to find. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Is the pen. Okay. So it's saying it is 1 o'clock minus or menos 15 minutes or a quarter. So this is what you're saying. Okay. You're saying it's 1 o'clock mathematically. Okay. Right, and we're going to minus 15 minutes. Okay, so if you know anything about time, sorry, my handwriting's atrocious, but if you take 15 minutes from an hour, you have 45 minutes left. But then, since it's going back an hour, we're really going back to 12. Okay, so it's really saying 12:45. Another way of reading it is you say it backwards. You're saying it's 15 minutes until 1. Okay, so let's look at the next one. If we read it backwards, we would say it's 15 minutes minus 3 o'clock. Okay, which would be 2:45. Okay. Or you can say it is 3 hours minus 15 minutes, which again, it would imply it's a quarter until 3. Let's look at the next one. Son las 8 menos 20. So we're saying again, it's 8 o'clock, it's 20 minutes until, menos being minus or until, 8 o'clock. Okay, so it would be 7:40. Okay, let's look at the last one. Now you think about it. So it says son las 3 menos 10. So we can see it on the clock here, but how would you write that numerically or digitally? Okay. So again, you can think of it backwards. You can say it's 10 until menos 3, or you can say it's 3 o'clock minus 10 minutes, which would make it 2:50. Now, kids might ask right now, well, can't I just say 2:50? You can. You just don't know the numbers for those yet. And I will tell you, you're going to meet half the people you're going to meet are going to be using this form where they're going to say it's a 20 till 3, or it is 10 minutes until 3, or it's this form that I'm just showing you here. And then you'll meet other half the people who will say it is 2 and 50 minutes. So once we learn more numbers, the bigger numbers all the way up to 1,000,000, okay, or how to say numbers up to 1,000,000, well, can you use the other way, okay? But I will tell you on your quizzes and on your practices and everything like that, they will ask you to use this format here. So please take note of it, okay? Now, it says to ask at what time a particular event takes place, we use the phrase a qué hora and then the event, okay? So repeat the a qué hora and then of course whatever the event is. To say at what time something takes place, we use the construction a las plus the time. So again, let's look at these examples. It says, ¿a qué hora es la clase de biología? At what time is biology class? Now, in Spanish, in English, we would say, what time is the biology class at? We would put at the end, but in Spanish, they always put it at the beginning. We would say in Spanish, we say, a las, la clase es a las dos. The class is at 2 o'clock. Or you could say, ¿a qué hora es la fiesta? At what time is the party? Or what time's the party? A las 8, at 8. So you notice you could put it in a form of a complete sentence. The class is at 2. Or you could just say the time. Both will be correct. One's just a little bit more complete and more of a complete sentence. Here are some other helpful words or phrases associated with telling time. Okay, and I'm going to highlight them. So here's an example. Son las 8 en punto. It is 8 o'clock on the dot. So en punto means on the dot or sharp. Okay, like for example, you don't come to class on time. You're not in class on the dot. En punto, you are late. Okay. Es el mediodía. It is noon. Now, mediodía it's two words together. Medio meaning halfway through or middle. And then día is day. So it's midday or middle of the day or midday. So that we would say another way of saying the midday would be the noon hour. Let's see if you can figure out this one. If you can see the two words here, we have la media noche. Now, la medianoche is saying it's media, like halfway through, and then noche is night, so it's saying middle of the night or halfway through the night, which would be midnight. Okay. Now, these words that I'm highlighting, they will be used on your activities that you'll be doing. So make sure you keep this open so you have an idea of what's going on. Okay. Again, and when we want to talk about a specific time, like in the morning or in the afternoon or in the evening, we say de la mañana for the morning. Okay. We say de la tarde for the afternoon, just like buenas tardes is good afternoon. Okay. And then we have media de la, not media, but de la noche for the evening or at night. All right. So let's look at some examples here. ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? Son las 4 menos 10. So again, if I had to write down that numerically, it would be 4 o'clock minus 10 minutos, which would make it 3:50. Okay. Another one. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 4:25. Again, we have the E, so that means we're adding minutes. So we're going to say 4:25. All right. Now it's your time to do the inténtalo and see how you did. Okay. All right. Notice they'll give you some of the words already and some of them are missing. Okay. So you just need to figure out which number or time that you're missing. I'll give you a hint. I'll highlight real quick what you're missing. Okay. So you're missing what you need here to say it's 10 minutes until 3. Okay, you're missing the number here, so I'm just going to hide the number here. You're missing the number here. Okay, and then now you have to see if it's AM or PM. This one we're looking for a special word that means 12 p.m. Okay, and then this one again we're looking for a special word that's talking about AM again. Okay, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Gracias. Adios.